Another Friday half day. I spent last weekend working on the house, pulling down a ceiling, hanging drywall. This weekend I'll mud and tape, which I'm horrible at. We have a snowstorm, aka blizzard, moving in, so that's something. It's warmer than I expected in here. I got a full house. Cleaning, making ears. This guy's hammering the floor. We just let him do whatever entertains him.
I'm trying to do is not make noise while there's a call going on, but I don't know how successful I am.
Bill's working on Turkish Crescent, and the parts came in to finish up this Rogers kick. And the CEO's on an earnings call over there. It's like deja vu watching you punch these ears.
Yeah?
That didn't sound healthy.
Well, the pop is when it suddenly burst through a...
Oh, that was the leather given away? I thought that was the wood.
No, it's the leather.
Bill's working on the aluminum flat pieces for the Turkish Crescent. Template with a pattern bit on the router had a bit of a hiccup. So shaping them with the oscillated belt sander. It's not going to be as fancy as this one, meaning it's going to be flat stock instead of the three-dimensional for a different price point. And it's for whom?
This is for Interlochen. I think it's just like a high school age program, but it's like the high school, like performing arts high school in the country that I know of anyway. I know Carol Yanch went there. She's like my celebrity crush.
Hey now, I'll tell Ruth.
I'll get this a little closer before I start sanding it.
Big basket of bells.
Yeah, those are cool. These big cast ones.
They sound good.
Yeah, it's this place in Iowa called Classic Bells, and they make these like all kinds of like crazy custom cast sleigh bells and things, and they're super expensive, but they sell their like all their failed castings for like these grab bags for like it's like $20 for like a handful of bells, and these bells are like $75 each or something.
Whoa!
But then the ones that for whatever reason this was considered a failed casting, and yeah, so it's pretty cool. They're really nice and they sound awesome. But we're able to get them cheap because they're like
Seconds.
production line rejects.
Nothing but the best for our clients.
Well, we are emulating an instrument that's like 200 or 300 years old, so.
All right, so the Rogers kick's done. Customer's emailed. Gonna see if he wants to move forward on Tom's. I'm going to throw a second pass of dye on these blue hoops, which you can't see because of the lighting and my expert camera skills. Ah, there we go. It's like a Pier 1 Imports.
James Cameron over here.
This is an alcohol-based dye. And in my experience, it's easier to apply, flashes off quicker, water-based is runnier. This is just a little trickier to get an evenly blended appearance or coat. So with water, the edge stays wet. Really got to move. Ooh. It's gonna look like a Smurf now for 3 weeks. Ooh. Next, this die is water-based. So you're going to see it's going to run all over the shell. Initially, the shell is thirsty, so it's going to suck it in, which would be a bad edge because you'd see the overlaps. So my current technique is to just go at it, let it soak in, just keep applying until I get a wet layer all the way around that I can move around and wipe it off. The dipping is not ideal. I sometimes wonder if like those restaurant bottles that chefs or cooks use for their different sauces and oils would be better. And you just squeeze it as you need it, but I kind of like to be able to rotate the shell as well. But having to break the dip does not play in your favor when it comes to keeping the wet edge. You can see it's already pretty much absorbed. And if you were to wipe it off now, you'd see all these overlaps. Go back and hit the spots you missed. So everything's got at least one coat. You can see areas have started to dry already though. This hasn't, this has. Here's an area I missed. I just get it real wet, work it in like I'm waxing a car. And now I'm all the way around. And a good point of reference is to use the seam in the shell so you know where you started. I got a good coat with the circles. Everything's been hit. I'll dip again. Try to go around it in a linear fashion. This is my attempt to mask any swirling. And you can see the difference now. It's staying quite wet on the surface. And then before it starts to dry, I come back in and wipe it back. And I'm not really pressing, I'm just letting the paper towel ride. I like to move quick before it starts to dry and get blotchy. Not a lot of pressure because I don't want to be pulling dye out necessarily. I just want to get the excess off so it doesn't get blotchy. We use disposable chopsticks for standoffs. I also make good stir sticks. I don't know where he gets them all. I just assume he has a Chinese food addiction, which is probably valid. All right, now pick up the work area. Shapes are sanded up. Testing out a threaded insert, reinforcement sleeve combo. Testing the cutting of slots for some of the shapes. It's like
test run.
Space station over here. It's so bright. Yeah. And he wants to cut a slot in there that all these slip through, as opposed to bolting them on the front. a la decorative napkin ring. We'll see. Not sure to be stable enough. This drum came in for new rope, new heads. So I'm taking it apart with a knife. I had to pull this little pin, release the hardware to get the bottom head off. Got a bunch of crusty business around the bottom bearing edge. I'm gonna get off of here. Quick wipe down with a damp rag. Not gonna get carried away. There's actually a certificate from when it was originally built and for whom, in October of 2009, and then another label from a repair shop that did some work on it, which is hilarious. So this company, 2018, we'll have to look up and see if they're still in business. Top head was not compressing evenly, and they notated that it was due to lacquer debris. So original workmanship. Sanded, refinished, replaced drum muffler, vacuum debris out of head and rim pinch areas, retighten drums. So I'm gonna clean out the debris, and then we'll get new rope, press, all that jazz.
Debris.
Do we clean these up, or we just leave
them? Sounds like the name of a crappy metal band.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we had some good riffs. Alright, head slipped on. I reattached the snare bracket. Gonna leave the ears as is. When we make ears, or when Bill's mom makes ears, she flushes up all these edges. So it's I'll say a different level of attention to detail. This one has some drips of the stain inside, drips of the lacquer, or runs, like full-on runs. Maybe it was a bad day. Maybe it was a Friday. Maybe it was a newbie. I don't know.
Maybe. They all look like that.
Machining.
Working hard.
We spent about an hour fleshing out the final details for this Crescent. How many and which bells would attach to which horn bell, how that attachment would be made, how things would be sleeved for reinforcement, length of Chicago screws, how the bells would be hung, wire, rivets, ordered any hardware that we still needed. So that's in the bag. These have dried enough that I can get another coat. So I lightly sand back 320 and then repeat. You're basically making a large washer or a flange, an extension, to make the bell larger because you couldn't find a tuba or something to source. No time.
I wanted like a mellophone bell or something. The bell flare I want doesn't really exist on any conventional instrument. The mellophone is the closest, but even though the throat's too small.
So we're modifying it.
Yeah, I kind of had to modify the trombone bell that I've got.
Because basically, the end of Bill's bell is too small, and it's a lifelong problem. We don't talk about it.
It's true.
It's a bit self-conscious.
Bill Bell, famous tuba player. Did you know that?
Well, you know all. You know, like the who's who of tuba players. like a jackhammer.
Yeah. Oh, the blade popped out. Oh, blade broke. That's right, this blade was on its last leg anyway. Oops. Gotta put the workpiece back in before I close it up. I am removing a lot of it.
Is it solid brass or just
Yeah.
topped?
It's solid brass. It's just really thin. But can't solder on dirt. So
I was just thinking we're supposed to be making drums, but you're over there polishing your bell end.
you know that's right. It's probably fine.
Could they have some kind of a etching fluid that you could do it with?
Well, I'll put flux on it.
This would be interesting.
That's for sure.
A lay of the land. We made a quick clamping jig. Plywood base with a T-nut. Threaded rod goes up through the horn. Block of wood, washer, nut. It's all fluxed. It's gonna try to solder the old horn brass to the new flat stock.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if this is gonna work. Oh, yeah, I guess it will. Whoa, wasn't expecting that. I guess I have this under too much tension. But that's okay, we'll pop it back out once it gets in there. But the solder's going in really nicely. There you go, get in there. Go to your home.
Dang it! Things running on fumes.
Yeah.
Oh, left hand's probably not helping.
Oh yeah, probably not.
Will it stay one piece when unclamped is the question.
I don't know. Well, when it cools, we will find out.
Alright, tell us about your mayor's hat from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, right. Isn't that the guy with the face, the two faces?
Yeah.
The mayor. Yeah, I think this worked pretty well. All the solder seems really super solid. Everything dried or cooled nice and shiny, so I think I can't see any gaps anyway. So I think I'm gonna get out well, not right now because it's the end of the day right now. But I think the next step is to get out a dent roller and just roll this out. And I'm not gonna try and make it actually be like part of the bell flare because it's just not gonna happen. And I don't think I really even want to do that anyway. But
This one doesn't really do
yeah,
that.
I mean, it's just this kind of. The bell that I started with was a little larger and a little bit of a better candidate, but this is fine. So I think if I roll this out on a dent roller,
I want to drill your holes first.
I
Well,
think I
maybe
can
not.
get a little bit of a flare. Yeah, I'm not sure what's the right order of operations there. I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit.
Thinking if you rolled it, then you might be drilling on a contour, but if you drill it, then you're rolling over all those open
Yeah,
voids.
and that's gonna make me much more likely to put a kink in it somewhere, which I don't want to do.
You can't win.
So, yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is, but I'm gonna try and get it just a little bit of a contour.
So he's got his mayor's hat and he's got his Xena Princess Warrior staff here.
Yeah.
I don't know, as soon as I leave, you're gonna start LARPing. I know it.
Not much chance of that.
He's a liar.
A LARPer?
A lion LARPer.